The home value increase that comes from installing solar panels is a vital metric for both homeowners and solar installers to know. While it may not be recouped for a while until somebody goes to sell their house, it can be vital to the conversation of return on investment because of the added benefit it can bring. For years, solar providers have been quoting the same study from Zillow. Back in 2019, Zillow did a study where they looked at homes across the US, and they found that on average, those homes sold for about 4.1% more than a home comparably without any solar. Given that the market's fluctuated and solar deployment has increased so much since then, we wanted to look and update these numbers. So in our research study, we looked at 5,000 homes across California in most of the major cities. And we focus on California specifically because of the 5 million solar residential installs in the United States, California contains almost 40% of those. So it'd be a pretty good sample size. We looked at homes sold from 2020 through 2023 and used the Case-Shiller price index to make sure that we were adjusting for the different times that they were sold. What our research found is that homes with owned solar systems specifically sold from anywhere from 5 to 10% more than a comparable home without solar. Now, these comparable homes, we made sure to look at homes that were roughly the same age, same size, and offered the same amenities. It's important to note, too, in our study that we also looked at these homes that had leased solar systems. Those are owned by a third party. Those sold for roughly the same as the comparable house without any solar at all. So we can see a pretty big increase. And a typical California home that would cost about $750,000, that means that home is going to sell for anywhere from $37,000 to $75,000 more just because it has solar panels on it. It's a pretty crazy price increase. And to further substantiate our results, Solar Reviews also did a study where they looked to replicate the old Zillow study from 2019. Solar Reviews did an entire look over 400 homes across the United States over the same time period that we did. Now, what they found is an average of 6.8% more for the house with solar compared to the house without solar. Now, it does make a lot of sense why homes with solar would sell for more. They're obviously going to have increased energy savings, better energy security in case people live in areas, especially in California, where you have high fluctuations in price increases or potentially rolling blackouts. And it offers an additional asset to the home. The leased solar systems, though, was an interesting case to see that they really didn't sell for more. But it does make a little bit of sense. There's no tangible asset for someone to have. You wouldn't buy a car from your friend if they currently had it on lease from a dealership. In that case, there's no tangible asset for them. The energy savings can be kind of complex to understand because the person buying that house wasn't involved in the original contract negotiations, so they don't know what the contract looks like, how they may be able to transfer to what the terms are. Additionally, most solar leases or PPAs set up the savings based on the individual use of that homeowner. So if a new homeowner coming in uses substantially more or less energy, the savings mixture can be very different and they may not even see any savings whatsoever. So how does this benefit anybody who's looking to sell or buy? Well, if you're going to sell the house at some point, this is an important thing to know. The average solar system in the United States is about a 7.4 kilowatt. At $3 per watt, that means that a homeowner is spending roughly $22,000 on that solar array. If the house is valued at more than $300,000, that would mean that just by having solar panels on it, period, they would recoup the entire investment when they sold their house. When you add on top of that the energy savings they get every year, plus potentially any tax benefits, although secondhand, people can't get those tax benefits, it makes solar an absolute no-brainer installation. But if someone's not going to sell their house in their forever home, it's not really something that's even worth mentioning because so what does it matter what the home value increase is going to do? So overall, 5 to 10% increase for a home that has an owned solar system. So have to own this system on their house. Utilize this information well in terms of talking with your customers and for knowing where your house is valued. Thanks for watching so much. Catch us in the next video and leave a comment down below. How do you think the solar market is going to change? Do you think it's going to flatten out with home increases, or do you think it's going to keep going up as more solar deployment goes through?